This is a presentation today by Greg Huff on why there are more and more businesses starting up here in America. Today in America we have a great deal of small businesses and smaller companies springing up all over the place. And what is contributing to this trend? Why is it important? What does it mean to you?
That's what we're going to talk about a little bit today.
And what's causing this entrepreneurial success and growth here in America? There are several trends, there are several things and trends that contribute to this growing trend in America. Number one, there's job uncertainty and dissatisfaction in the workplace. There's more and more people being dissatisfied and more job uncertainty in the average jobs that you and I have. Profitability and satisfaction. It's where you and I find the satisfaction and how much is it really worth to us. And then the psychology of business entrepreneurship. What is it in the minds of each individual and of people that are causing them to go out and start businesses? Now, these are the three main factors and the focus of our discussion today. And I'm going to take a bit of time to explain each one as we go through. So number one, job uncertainty and dissatisfaction. As job uncertainty grows in the workplace, so does dissatisfaction grows in the workplace, so does job uncertainty. They go hand in hand. If you look on this graph provided from Information on Building Entrepreneurial Economies by Carl Schramm, you'll see that it's chart, and it shows that 100%, if your level of uncertainty is 100%, your dissatisfaction is also at 100%, and as that decreases, your job uncertainty and your dissatisfaction also decrease. They go hand in hand together. Yes?
So what causes dissatisfaction?
Okay. Good question, thank you. Dissatisfaction in the workplace is caused by many factors. Some of the greatest ones include like the ability to schedule different things like, soccer games for your children, or maybe a test for school, or school in general, to go to school. Also other factors include, and the major one, over 50% of the people that were polled and asked questions about what they felt made them most dissatisfied was their managers not giving them effective feedback and criticism and praise. All of those things were important to them. And that created uncertainty for them, maybe not so much in the mind of the company, but of the individual, that their job was uncertain, that they didn't know if they would be there in the future, or if there would be a place for them, or if they even wanted to be there. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. So that is create job uncertainty and dissatisfaction in the workplace today. Now, the second thing, profitability and satisfaction. Okay. Profitability and satisfaction are the greatest reasons people go out and start their own business. We're going to also go to another graph here, the profitability and satisfaction graph, also provided by Carl Schramm and from his essay Building Entrepreneurial Economies. And it shows you in the graph that as each of the levels of profitability increase, so does the level of satisfaction. Now here's the kicker. Satisfaction is as important or even more important to people than profitability is. Okay, I know that's a little hard to take in. Most people think, unless there's money in it and a lot of it, people are not going to be satisfied. But that's not the case. When we asked a ton of people what caused them to be at work. Is it the money?
In a lot of cases, people are not being paid.
They think they're worth, but they stay at a job because they're satisfied with it. So remember, profitability, while it's important, and it's the most important factor in deciding whether to start an own business or not, so that it's profitable for you and your family, it's also about satisfaction. Will what you do bring lasting satisfaction in the workplace? Yes, ma'am.
So besides profitability, what contributes to satisfaction?
Okay, satisfaction. Similar things, the opposite of the dissatisfaction. The things that made them satisfied were that it was scheduled around the conflicts in your own personal life. They gave you time to have for yourself and your family. And then the greatest factor that satisfied people was their managers and bosses took into account their criticism and also gave them good, effective
When they show the company how they're doing and how to improve,
so that they could do better. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. So remember that those are some things that are so important, and that's why we see this. Lastly, psychology of entrepreneurship. Now, we don't have much time to discuss it, but what is psychology of entrepreneurship?
well, several things. The
Psychology is the frame of mind, or not just the frame of mind, but also the, how do I put it? It is the programming or the way you were taught as a child and kind of how you've grown up to learn and to grow with entrepreneurship. The second, why does it matter? Well, the reason it matters is because not only can it, affect you and I, but that is something that builds here in America and that will affect you and I. And the way it affects you and I is that we will see more and more small businesses popping up. We will see more and more people desiring to start their own business due to the fact that they have this desire, this innate desire to get up early and stay out late trying to build this business for themselves because they want that business for themselves, that drive. That's what psychology of entrepreneurship really is. So, in conclusion, we have several things that we've talked about. And these are kind of what it means to us. Small business ownership is growing in America, and the trend is going to continue. We have to remember that, I'll use Puget Sound for example. I live in Tacoma, Washington, and in the Puget Sound region, there are several businesses that are huge now that started out as small companies, Microsoft and Starbucks to name just two of them. They used to be just small, tiny, one's a small coffee shop in Pike's Place Market in Seattle, and then the other one was just a garage, business for Bill Gates, and now they're huge. Okay, and it's the same.
What does that do for prices to consumers?
Okay, the prices to consumers is a good question. Depending on the goods and services provided, it makes more competition in the workplace. So therefore, competition is good for you and I, the consumer. And so it forces businesses to be competitive with their prices. They have to see what someone else is offering versus what they're going to offer and if they're going to be able to make money. Sometimes people will pay a higher amount for a better good, such as if you are going to go out and one cleaning service is better than another, you may be willing to pay a few extra dollars for their service even though it's more. However, some goods and services will be unaffected, such as gasoline and other necessities of the U.S. economy that we really have no control over. The competition in the marketplace will have really no effect or bear on the goods. However, the demand for that good will also affect, such as coffee. Starbucks was building for many years, but as the demand for coffee and luxury goods has decreased, their profit margin and the desire for that good has also decreased. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. And just to wrap it up, there is profitability in small business. That's why more and more people are doing it. And that is how that will affect you and I. We will see more and more small businesses spring up in the future. Thank you for coming by today and for listening to my presentation. Have a good day.